So we all know, and what gets kind of lost in translation here is the fact that, yes, Sony signed a 10-year deal with Microsoft to keep Call of Duty games on PlayStation, and this was the same deal, in fact, and now it's been confirmed that was offered to them last year by Microsoft. Nothing new added to it, no sweetheart deals or anything like that. One of the things that's been very interesting with this is there's been a lot of other news that's come out that has honestly been overlooked a little bit, because obviously the big deal is the Activision deal itself, and so that's the thing that most people are kind of paying close attention to, and probably that's how it should be when you think about these things. So the way I look at it is Microsoft got everything that they wanted from the deal. Let's just be real, at the end of the day, they got the 10-year deal, they got this thing to pass, they've got pretty much everything to kind of go the way that they need it to go. And not only have they done that, but they've actually been able to get Sony to look even worse than what they previously had, which I think is very interesting, considering how everything was going for them in the past. Now, this news is very good news, because it once again shows that these clueless fools on the PlayStation side don't know what the hell they're talking about. Everspace 2 is better on all platforms because of Xbox Game Pass. So many times. How many times have we seen people put down Game Pass? How many people have we seen people say, oh, Game Pass is garbage, nobody likes it, it doesn't do anything for anybody, wah, right? We've seen it all a million times. Now, you have another developer coming out in support of it. Rarely do you see anybody say anything negative about Game Pass, by the way. Let's just put that out there. Rarely do you see anybody say anything negative, whereas you've had multiple big franchises say, oh, thanks to Game Pass, our game is popular, a success. You can even look at the Yakuza series. The head of that studio actually said, thanks to Game Pass, our game is popular in the West, right? Like this, let's just be real about it. It's huge. The hype train has returned for Everspace 2 ahead of its release on Xbox Series X in just over a month's time. Xbox Game Pass has evidently played a big role in the success so far. Speaking to Xbox podcast earlier the week, Rockfish Games CEO Michael Shade explained that the Game Pass deal, which initially saw Everspace 2 arrive on PC, ultimately allowed for more development time. He said, and I quote, "We could have made Everspace 2 without Xbox Game Pass, but it would have been a smaller game. Some parts of the funds, the license fees, when you launch a PC Game Pass game in the game preview program, which is something we did, and then you get a significant chunk of the license. And that enabled us to work 9 more months on the game. Combined with the other revenue sources we had, plus the Game Pass deal, it enabled us to add 9 to 12 months more production time." Shade then went on to explain that the release of Everspace 2 didn't hurt sales on Steam platform, and he even lavished praise on Game Pass for being one of the best, if not the best deals in the industry. And in terms of console launch next month, the CEO believes that the Xbox Game Pass influence will result in a better game for everyone, including those who end up buying it on PlayStation 5. He had this to say, and I quote, "So yeah, it's maximum flexibility, extra funding, and you take and you make a better game, and everybody's happy. Everybody who's not on Game Pass is getting a better game. So even the PlayStation fans get a better game on PlayStation 5 because of the deal with Game Pass." Now, again, so you might be interested in this game, maybe you're not. Like, for me, I'm not a big fan of Everspace. I think that it's hugely ambitious and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's way too technical, and it's one of those types of games that just isn't for me. So, with that being said, when I look at this and I go, okay, well, Game Pass isn't a bad thing. Game Pass is a fantastic thing that has really done a really good job of making sure that Microsoft gets everything they needed to do. The way that Microsoft was able to handle these things, and, they've kind of navigated the whole Game Pass thing quite well, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think that that's pretty interesting. A lot of people were kind of down on Game Pass, and a lot of people were down on Microsoft in general. And I think that that is something that, they can't really do that anymore, right? They can't really be down on them. So, I think that this is something that obviously Microsoft has to push, when the developers speak good. I think this is pretty damn brilliant if you think about it. We continue to see developers come out and speak out about how good Game Pass is, how this is a great deal. Like, you don't have to be a genius to realize that this is like the best deal in gaming. I tell people this all the damn time. You don't have to to be a neurophysicist or a scientist to figure out that this is the best deal in gaming. All you have to do is think about it logically, right? So think about it logically. Many of you might be around my age, maybe a little bit younger. Maybe you were around at a time when renting video games was popular, right? When I was a kid, we rented video games. You go to Blockbuster and you paid money to rent, and this was something that my family did for my brother and myself twice a month. And so twice a month we each got to rent a game, and that meant that I would rent 2 games a month, he would rent 2 games a month, and it cost more to do that at that time. For just those 4 games, it costs more at that time than it does for Game Pass in 2023, and there's literally hundreds of games to play. I would have loved the chance to have something like Game Pass. It is clearly the best of the best. And not only that, not everybody can go out there and pay $70 every time the latest and greatest thing drops. So when the Activision thing goes through, you know, the chance to be able to play Call of Duty on Game Pass, Halo, Gears, whatever, you know, Forza, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, whatever the case may be, you don't have to fork over that 70. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. And I think that is exactly what is making this such an amazing thing and such an amazing deal that Microsoft gives to the fans. And that is pretty critical, I think, anyway, to the future of Xbox and just how great Xbox is doing. We usually never get this amount of news this quick, so it's pretty amazing that this is happening. So many people are excited again for Xbox. And I can't believe it myself, to be honest with you. It's just fantastic. And, you know, I know, like I said, everybody is talking about this stuff. Everybody is excited. And, you know, at the end of the day, Microsoft can't do much more to get people amped up for this stuff because it's the way that it's going. You know, this is incredible. Love to see it. Love to see what everybody is kind of excited about in the future. Again, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. You know, Microsoft is nailing it. As an Xbox fan, I got to be honest, they probably, with the Activision deal, there's absolutely no need to get a PlayStation. Like, PlayStation has been putting out fewer and fewer first-party titles. Maybe they put out 5 or 6 a generation that I'm super interested in. So I think maybe next generation will be the first time that I've actually gone about this and probably won't buy a PlayStation 6 day one or anything. Maybe I'll get a PlayStation 6 Slim at the end of the gen to play the 5 or 6 games that I'm actually interested in. Microsoft has done that damn good for me. So we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, Microsoft is just killing it. I'm excited. I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited too. Let me know what you think down below, and I hope you all have a great day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.